Welcome everyone to the final round of the World Rapid Championships 2025. On your screen is Aleksandr Shimanov. He is one of the best players in this tournament from his performance. His rating is just 2554. But Alexander has managed to beat, and there you have Arjun Erigaisi coming in. Has already managed to beat Anish Giri, Fabiano Caruana, Daniil Dubov. It's just incredible the way he's played here, and he's held his own against strong players. So Arjun has a tough game here, but just so that you know, both players are on 8.5 points out of 12. A win here could get them to the one of the podium finishes. Maybe the bronze medal is possible because Magnus Carlsen is running away with the tournament. He's already on 10 points out of 12, so he's in great shape here. Arjun looks calm, Shimano as well. A handshake, the clock starts, and this, dear friends, is the ChessBase 26 recap of the day. Get the ChessBase 26 to push your game in the right direction. Pawn to d4 by Arjun Erigaisi. And Shimanov plays knight to f6, c4, and black plays pawn to d6. Slightly offbeat, Arjun brings his knight to f3, stopping the move e5, and g6 played here by Shimanov. He's going for the King's Indian defense. Knight to c3, bishop g7, and plays his pawn up to e4, gaining space in the center. Black castles here, and white plays his move pawn to h3. We have knight to a6 played, and bishop comes out to g5, sort of putting pressure here on the knight on f6, and queen e8 in order to play the move e5. Arjun develops his bishop, is getting ready to castle here, and Shimanov plays his pawn to e5. He's using the dark square strategy. He's forcing white to take a decision. Arjun pushes the pawn, and the knight can now come to c5, but he goes knight to h5. He's looking in this direction. He's looking for the f5 break. g3 played by Arjun, and f5 already on the board. Look at Shimanov's time. He has 15 minutes on the clock. Arjun takes the pawn. Pawn takes, and notice that this knight is a little bit hanging on the h5 square. So Arjun quickly plays his knight to h4, attacking the knight. The knight drops back to f6. Now the confidence with which Shimanov plays can really put someone under pressure. But Arjun calmly brings his queen to c2. The knight attacks the queen. Now you can come back queen b1. But Arjun decides to attack the knight with queen to b3. Pawn comes up to a5. Shimanov is on fire. He's at 16 minutes now. He's playing so fast. Arjun plays a3, and to think about it, this is the all-important final round game. Queen c2, attacking the pawn on f5 twice. It's only defended once, but Shimanov doesn't care to defend it. If you take, and take here, knight f e4, and it's black who's winning. So that's why bishop comes back to e3. And Shimanov goes all in. He plays his pawn to f4. Now this is risky chess. This is very risky chess by Aleksandr Shimanov. But he's counting on the fact that the white king is still in the center, and he can try and launch a big attack on Arjun. So Arjun takes pawn, e takes f4, and he chops off the knight on c5. Pawn takes c5. And white castles here. Beautiful move by Arjun. He castles, and you can see the king is out of the danger zone. He now has a huge attack brewing. King h8. The black king looks in trouble. And Shimanov seems to have played his cards too early. Now bd3 is a good move with rook coming in. Looks very, very dangerous. And Arjun zones in. He plays his rook to g1. Calm, cool, collected. Arjun generally has had amazing events, but he often falters at the final juncture or the final destination. And here, hopefully, he doesn't do that. Queen comes to e7. And Arjun brings his bishop here. You can already sense that this square is the place where there are some forks coming in. Rook comes to a6. He's trying to defend it on the third rank, also get the rook into b6 to put pressure here, but rook e1 attacks the queen. Queen goes to f7. And now Arjun is ready with a brilliancy. Bishop g6. What a move. If you take here, I can take with the knight, but I can also go rook e7. And if queen takes, then knight g6 and you lose the queen. So queen d7 played. And Arjun quickly plays bishop f5. Queen goes back to f7. And bishop takes c8. Rook takes on c8. And we have knight to f5 attacking the bishop. The bishop goes back to f8. And the knight comes in. Knight to e4. Look at this amazing play here by Arjun. Knight takes knight. Queen takes. And now some big threats here in the position. Queen e5 check was a threat, so he plays queen f6. And what's important to note here is that the knight on f5 is an absolute beast. Arjun has 6 minutes on the clock. He takes a good 3 minutes. He calms himself down and plays f3. The main point of this move is to use rook to defend laterally. So you can see how he's threatening the b2 pawn. And you can defend it with rook g2. You can bring your other rook and you try to checkmate the black king here. Also notice the good knight versus bad bishop scenario. It's just such a bad position. Rook comes up to g2. And rook to b3 played. And he's going to get the other rook to g1. So he plays his queen to e6. Takes. Pawn takes. And now e7 is threatened here. He plays bd6. But knight h6 is just game over because there's no way to stop knight f7 checkmate. And Arjun Erigaisi, he's going for it. And he spots it. Knight h6 played. And Aleksandr Shimanov has no way. He has to play something like rook f8. But then there's a beautiful mate with rook g1, rook g8 and knight f7. He resigns here. Arjun Erigaisi wins the game. He moves to 9.5 out of 13. A super critical game for Arjun because with this he manages to get the bronze medal at the World Rapid Championships 2025, finishing third after Magnus Carlsen, Vladislav Artemiev, Arjun's first ever medal at this tournament. A huge congratulations to him.